Okay, welcome back, guys. Just got a weekly recap today, and I basically had a pretty good week this week. Passed 3 evals, but I'm in the process of getting this other eval to be activated, as they have not activated it just yet. So I'm not sure as to why that is, but I'm in contact with them right now. So I'll get the video rolling, and yeah, I hope you guys had a good week as well, and I hope you guys have a good week next week. So hope you enjoy. And as you can see, did pass an eval in this trade, which is actually pretty nice. So I'll get straight into it. We'll start on the 4-hour chart. So coming into today, actually I'll go back on the replay. Okay, so coming into today was very bearish. Again, new month started, and we do have this weekly gap that does also overlap with this monthly gap. So clear draws for me this week. And again, on the daily time frame, we do need to sell off. So yep, daily time frame is again bearish, and 4-hour time frame again bearish. As you can see, we did have this high time frame power of 3 with our accumulation manipulation, and now we are in a clear distribution leg, and I do anticipate us having this distribution leg towards the weekly gap. So with that in mind, we'll hop down to the 1-hour, and again, very bearish. And again, another thing, sorry, we do have SMT with ES on the daily at all-time highs. So on the hourly, coming into today at 10 a.m. open, I did think that maybe we were going to flip bullish, as we did come down and sweep all this liquidity, as well as tapping into this discounted 4-hour gap. So I was open to taking a long here. Took the trade here. So yeah, at market open, we immediately manipulated down to tap into this gap and did start to distribute or reverse. And I did think this was going to be the start of a market maker buy model, as we had the sell model, and then a textbook smart money reversal into multiple POIs with SMT as well. So I did initially think, okay, let's wait for this range to be broken, and also we did tap into this 15-minute gap. So I was like, yep, once this range is broken and we get a retest of this gap, retest of this 1-minute gap, I will take a long off of it. But we never did end up respecting that 1-minute gap. And we instead got a 5-minute inversion, as well as an inversion of this 1-minute candle. And I was extremely bullish, and I did now think we were not going to start the sell model, and we were now going to distribute fully lower. So I did enter here with stops just above this small protected high, and I did target this 15-minute gap as my first TP, and then final TP was here, and then the second TP was at this 5-minute order block. Well, it was down here actually. So yeah, entered off that break. It was a pretty clean break, as well as a 5-minute inversion and 5-minute change in state of delivery to the downside. I was a bit skeptical though, as we did have this, we were trading inside of this 15, but again, we did not break those highs and instead just tapped into this rejection block multiple times, as you can see here, and respected it every single time. So you can watch price play out now, and yeah, I did move stops to break even once we did tap into this gap, and I did think that we were going to potentially come up and sweep, or not sweep, fill this discounted 5-minute, but we did not. And yeah, didn't get stopped out at break even there, luckily. And then I full TP'd here, as I don't know if you can see it, but of course I did hit the profit target for this eval, so there wasn't really any point in me taking the trade down lower. I just wanted to secure the profits. but trade did end up running to quite a good risk to reward, and it did hit the final TP for a nice 3.6R. So with that in mind, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys also caught the same trade as me. I know a lot of people did get caught out on these longs, but short was probably the better option to take just because the high time frame is so bearish and we have this clear draw on liquidity for the week. So I took 2 trades today, one on my PA account, and then I re-entered on my AVAL as I did not want to risk more money on my PA account, but probably would have been a good idea as the trade did end up running. And as you can see, I got stopped out just down here, just got wicked out there, and then price just kept running afterwards, so took a break at this high. But I'll get into more detail this trade, but as you can see, very close to passing another AVAL. So maybe PM session does provide, which would be pretty nice. That'll be passing an AVAL for the last 3 days, every single day. So I'll get straight into it, into the trade recap. So let me just go back, I'll replay it to here. And we'll just start on the daily. So daily has flipped bullish. I was bearish this whole week, but again, daily has flipped bullish. And that is because we swept these lows out and had a very good reversal afterwards. And again, higher time frame does look like we are in a buy model now, clearly respecting these gaps that are forming. And yeah, we're just reaccumulating at these market maker sell model accumulation zones, which I'm not really surprised about. But again, hourly in a clear buy model, respecting hourly bullish PD arrays or fair value gaps. So hopping down to the 15, at market open, we had a clear high time frame power of 3 occur. And we came down and swept this. We did not tap into this 4-hour gap though, but ES did, so we did have SMT in that regard. And again, I don't know why this is messed up, but yeah, we'll go back to here. So yeah, coming into market open, I was very bullish, especially after sweeping these lows. And I did think of taking a long up here. I was about to click buy, but again, we completely just took out London highs and then came straight back down again. So clearly, with this leg up, I knew buyers were in control because we don't really ever recover like this if we're not going to start trending upwards. And again, I entered off a 5-minute change in state of delivery on my PA account with, this was the first trade I took with stops just being below this. Yeah, because we respected this 1 minute, had a change in state of delivery on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, and we clearly broke this range, but got stopped out here, which is unfortunate. So I did think we were just going to be done for the day. I thought this was going to be a bit of a seek and destroy day. I thought we were just going to come back down, but we did sweep these lows and then break this high one more time. So with that in mind, I didn't really think, well, logically, there was no reason for price to come back down and sweep these lows again before running to my draw on liquidity. My main draw on liquidity for today was, of course, these Asia highs. Don't know why it's not, but yeah, this Asia high and then this internal sell side, this low resistance liquidity. So yeah, ended up running the trade quite a bit higher, not higher, but I should have actually passed this eval, but I miscalculated where my stop was, sorry, my take profit was. So yeah, $200 short, not gonna rush another trade, but yeah, fairly good trade today. Didn't really do anything wrong. I can't really predict if price is gonna come in a resweep before going higher, so not really mad about that. But tomorrow's gonna be a new day, and we're gonna start start trading the PA account more aggressively, as I do have a couple now under my belt, so I'm not really too fussed if I spread trades out across them. Because I do have a trade of 8-1 here, which I did not take a trade on as I entered on my rhythmic. Bit of a rough day today. Could say I overtraded, but I did want to give a go at trading market open today. Well, pre 10 a.m. as I do usually trade only after 10 a.m. But I'll get into the reason why I took this trade. And well, yeah, all three trades really. I only took one trade on the on the funded, and I did get stopped out unfortunately. And 2 losses and 1 break even today. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. Didn't really lose heaps. Lost about 600 on the eval, and then only about, let me check, only about 180 on the funded. So not the worst day. Definitely gonna make up for that next coming days. But again, let's get into the recap. So coming into today, bias a bit neutral on the high time frame. However, we did have SMT, and we still do have SMT at all-time highs. So again, dropping down to the 4-hour, and my belief was I don't really think we're actually going to continue. Well, coming into market open, I didn't think we were going to continue this buy model, as we've just been accumulating so much. Like, we are in a clear uptrend, but we've been inversing hourly gaps. So yeah, with that in mind, and look at this very long accumulation range. If we wanted to continue to distribute, I think we probably would have done it here, but instead we just swept out a lot of liquidity and just flipped and just continued lower. So yeah, coming into market open, another PO3 high time frame power of 3, and we did come up at market open, sweep London highs and Asia highs, and we did have SMT with ES at that time, but they did come up and sweep them. And again, NQ was dumping quite a lot compared to AS. So my thought process for entering this first trade, so New York reversal, and we had the sweep of each of these highs and reacted very well with them. Had an inversion, all of these inversions, and tapped into this 1-minute gap, and then saw a very good reaction off of it. And I entered at the change in state of delivery after respecting this gap. Got my feel about here, and was going to take them down to London and Asia lows. But yeah, stop loss was probably placed a bit too tight for this. I placed it just above, well, this fair value, this 1 minute fair value up, and then this candle right here, and we did end up just reversing to sweep out this inversed gap, well, this bearish fair value gap, before continuing lower. So if I did have my stops just above this, probably would have hit, but it's only a 1R. So yeah, didn't really lose much on this trade, only $200, which isn't too bad. But yeah, still, a loss is a loss. Could have definitely done things a lot more different. Could have went with a wider stop and would have hit the trade. So moving down to the next trade, we did see this accumulation, and then we started to manipulate. I thought we were going to reverse here, but instead we started to reaccumulate, and then we tapped in to this 5-minute and saw a very good reaction off of it, like immediate shoot down. And I did end up getting my feel a bit like weird here. Wasn't really the best feel, but yeah, entered off this change in state of delivery and entered about here. And I was targeting this discounted 15, and then obviously New York PM lows, London lows, and Asia lows from yesterday. But yeah, price just reversed immediately, went straight back up and tapped me out where I had my stop at this order block. So, and then coming into the third trade, so with this third trade, I did have stops fairly tight, and my thought process for this trade was we had a discounted 1 minute, and then we also had this breaker. So a bit of a unicorn setup here, and that's the only reason why I took it, because I did think, yeah, this day is just a bit seek and destroyish. So yeah, I did enter off a change in state of delivery right here, and targeted this, well, New York AM's high, and then when move stops just below this level when we swept this high, didn't really see a reaction off it, and then I went full break even when we swept this high, and I was planning to TP, like take full TP up here, because that would have been where I would have passed this eval. So yeah, I got stopped out at break even on this candle, and now price has since then run up and hit my take profit. But again, with this trade, same thing, moving stops too tight and going break even too early. So again, narrative for each trade was correct, but my risk management was just a bit dodgy. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind for the next coming days. And well, yeah, just in terms of trading in general, trade recap for the trade I took in PM session yesterday, and managed to only make about $500 as my first take profit was here, and then I got stopped out just at this protected low, unfortunately, before price ran up and smacked my TP. I'll put the executions up here quickly, and we'll get straight into it. So, starting on the daily, clearly in this little V shape, we are in a buy model, and it will drop down to the lower time frame, and you can clearly see we are in a buy model, and we are going to complete it by the looks of it. So with that in mind, well, the trade was around here. With that in mind, hopping down to the 1 hour, we've just been going up heaps now. But yeah, at market open yesterday, just immediately came down and ripped into this hourly for value gap, and then immediately saw a reaction off of it. So yeah, was pretty bullish after that. And then we had been coming up after AM session and continuing higher while also rebalancing into 5-minute gaps along the way. So coming into this trade, I have to use ES as a little example. So on the 15, well, actually I'll hop on the 1-minute chart first. So at 2 p.m. open, price just instantly ripped up, didn't really get a proper accumulation range. We started to reaccumulate here, which was what I really like to see. And then we came down and ES actually tapped into their 15-minute gap by quite a lot. We had, sorry for making it. But yeah, as you can see, this fat wick down and an instant rejection off of it. So with that in mind, I was like, yeah, we're now going to distribute towards the upside. And I was going to wait for AS to tap into this 5, but I added half of my contracts after we got another change in state of delivery to the upside, but probably should have waited until we broke this level, because I could have easily got stopped out here. But I was very confident in this setup, so that is why I did add to my position. And yeah, as you can see, clean trade. Did get stuck in some chop over here though, but overall not complaining. Ended up only taking home like 1.5 R because I wanted to go to sleep because it was 6 a.m. Just going to be doing a trade recap. Not really much in this trade recap, so this is probably going to be pretty short today. And it was pretty weird trade, as you can see. Pretty short trade as well. But that is because I passed the eval. And yeah, not going to really put any more risk on the table, or even just like try hold profit out for no reason at all when I've passed an eval. And it's pretty stupid if you do that anyway. So we'll start on the daily time frame. So clearly, I did think we were bullish coming into today, but we did have SMT at all-time highs again. You can see on the 4-hour, clear SMT at all-time highs once again. So hourly, again, we were bullish, and I did think that we were just going to tap into this 15 and start sending. However, I did also think it's going to be a bit of a TGIF day, especially because Friday did put in the high of the week. And we'll hop down to the 5. And again, market open, we did immediately just, well, before market open, we had this data wick, which was definitely a draw, and we already swept that out pre-market. And then at market open, came down, swept, and then never recovered back to that. And again, my bias had now flipped bearish. And that was because we were creating new bearish gaps and respecting them. Respected it here, here. Inversed this gap, however, but didn't take that, as it was, of course, 10 a.m. and the 10 a.m. candle just instantly dumped. So the reason I took this trade was because we got so close to this data week after being so bearish. There wasn't really any way that price would get away and reverse without sweeping this data week out. So took 12 contracts or 13 on a mini or on the micro, and then yeah, literally just wrote it down 2 candles, hit TP at my when I passed the eval, and yeah, rest is history. Pretty easy trade. I'm not going to call this a stupid trade, but there wasn't really any setups that presented itself at 10 a.m. because once this draw got hit, I didn't really have any other draws for today except for the TGIF fib levels. We can draw that up and we can see that price has already, price came down and immediately dumped straight to them. And yeah, the fib level also did align with this data wick as well. Then yeah, we've come down and swept it all, and then now we're seeing a bit of a recovery. So yeah, good trading week this week. Basically won every single day I traded. Past 2 evals, but funded's only down 300 this week, which is all right. So yeah, enjoy your weekend and I hope you guys have a good week. I'll speak to you soon.